You know, when we think of a warehouse, we usually picture a giant, boring box just full of stuff. But what if it could be something more? What if it could actually be the smartest part of your entire business? Today, we're going to dive into how AI is literally giving warehouses a brain, turning them from these simple storage spaces into incredibly powerful strategic assets.
And this quote, it just nails it. In today's economy, a warehouse that can't react, that can't adapt, isn't just a little inefficient. It's a direct threat to your business's survival. The stakes have never, ever been higher.
All right, so before we can really get the solution, we have to understand the problem, right? Let's take a look at why so many of the traditional warehouses out there are just struggling to keep their heads above water.
I mean, look at this list. These are the chronic headaches that just plague so many operations. You've got picking errors, which means you get angry customers. You have inaccurate inventory, which means you're either selling stuff you don't have, or you've got cash tied up in products that are just sitting there collecting dust. And all of this is driven by these rigid, manual processes that are painfully slow and unbelievably expensive. This is the breaking point.
But what if you could change all that? What if you could give your warehouse a completely new brain? A system that was designed from the ground up to solve these deep systemic issues with intelligence, with speed, and with flexibility.
Well, this new brain is called a warehouse execution system, or a WES. And here's the key thing to understand. It doesn't just sit there and record what happens. Oh no, it is an active, real-time orchestrator. It's making smart decisions every single second to coordinate all the moving parts, your people, your robots, and all your other software.
This comparison really gets to the heart of it. A traditional warehouse management system, a WMS, it's like a passive bookkeeper. It just logs transactions after the fact. But a modern WES, that's the team's head coach. It's calling the plays on the field in real time to make sure you win the game.
And this new brain, it really offers two experiences in one. For the managers, you've got the command center. It's this high-level web dashboard that gives them complete visibility and, more importantly, control. They can see all the performance analytics, spot bottlenecks before they become problems, and, this is critical, they can adjust processes on the fly.
And then for the folks actually on the floor, the frontline workers, it's all about making their lives easier. It's a mobile app that gives them super simple, guided instructions for every single task. No more guesswork, no more confusion. This absolutely slashes errors and shrinks training time from like weeks down to just a day or two. It's incredible.
Okay, so how does this thing actually work? What's the magic under the hood? Let's peel back the layers and look at the core technology that makes a warehouse this smart.
At the very heart of it all is an AI optimization engine, and honestly, the air traffic controller analogy is perfect. It sees everything that's happening, every person, every robot, every order, and it dynamically assigns each task to the absolute best resource for the job. It even uses predictive analytics to see what's coming, and it's always learning from your data to get smarter and more efficient every single day.
Now, the second piece of this puzzle is the no-code workflow engine. And let me tell you, this is a total game changer. It gives your operations managers, the people who actually know the warehouse best, a simple drag-and-drop tool to design and change their own processes. No more waiting for the IT department, no more multi-week development cycles, just pure, unadulterated operational agility.
So we've seen the tech, but what does it actually look like in action? Let's follow an item on its journey through the warehouse, from the moment it arrives at the loading dock to the second it ships out to a customer.
Okay, so efficiency kicks in the second a truck pulls up. The system already knows what's on it, and it guides workers through the receiving process step by step. Then, the AI suggests the most optimal shelf location for every single item, based on things like how fast it sells. And hey, remember that no-code engine? Managers can use it to build custom quality checks right into the process for specific products or suppliers.
Now, when an order comes in, the AI acts like a master puzzle solver. It intelligently groups different orders together into the most efficient picking waves imaginable. The mobile app then gives the picker the shortest possible walking route to grab all those items. And finally, at the packing station, a quick barcode scan verifies every single item is correct before the shipping label ever gets printed. It's precision at every single step.
All right, that all sounds amazing, right? But talk is cheap. What about the results? Let's look at the hard numbers, the documented metrics, and also the security credentials you absolutely need for a mission-critical system like this. Okay, get ready for this. A 92% reduction in mispicks. I mean, just think about that. You're virtually eliminating shipping errors. That means way happier customers
and way fewer costly, painful returns.
And what about speed? How about a 2.5 times increase in how many orders you can get out the door? This lets you scale your business without having to go out and make a massive new investment in more buildings or more people. You do more with what you already have.
And here's the big one, for the bottom line. This system tackles the single biggest expense in any warehouse, labor. And it reduces those costs by 40%, simply by making every single task smarter and more efficient.
This chart really puts that accuracy number into perspective, doesn't it? A traditional warehouse might average a 3% error rate, which sounds small, but it adds up. With a system like this, that rate just plummets to less than 0.25%. I mean, the difference is absolutely staggering.
Of course, for a system this critical to your business, it has to be a fortress, right? And that's where things like a SOC 2 Type 2 certification come in. It's not just a buzzword, it's the gold standard. It's an independent audit that verifies the platform's security. You combine that with military-grade encryption and strict access controls, and you get the kind of trust and peace of mind that big companies demand.
Okay, so let's pull all of these threads together. What does this all really mean for the future of fulfillment and the supply chain as a whole?
Here's the big idea, the fundamental shift in thinking. The warehouse stops being just a cost center, a necessary expense you have to deal with. By combining that AI-driven optimization with true operational flexibility, it becomes a powerful, proactive, strategic asset that can give you a serious competitive advantage.
And that really leaves us with one final crucial question you have to ask yourself. Take a hard look at your own operations. Is your warehouse just a place where money gets spent? Or is it a dynamic engine that's actually driving growth, boosting customer satisfaction, and strengthening your bottom line? Because the answer to that question is going to define the winners in this new era of commerce.